Hello and welcome to episode 29 of Unemployed to Unstoppable. We've got over the negative vibes from failing in the playoffs. We did achieve a fourth place finish in our first season, but it's time for a transfer window and a rebuild, ready for our second season in charge of Millwall in the Championship. So stick around and we'll see what we can do. And welcome back. So first thing to do as always is to have a quick look at the squad planner and make a little bit of a shopping list. First thing that jumps out, goalkeeper wise, we've only got one. Sarkic has been here since we got here. He's just turned 31. We don't have a reserve goalkeeper. We could pull one up from the youth, but I think it's about time we bring somebody in to possibly improve that position. So first thing on the list is a goalkeeper. Left back, we're looking pretty good. We recruited well in the last window, so Lungello and Timon are both pretty good. They're still 30 and 28, so we've got a couple more years left in them yet, so we'll probably leave that well alone. Centre back, we've got Kerr Smith. I've removed Cooper because he's going at the end of the season. He didn't want a new contract, so we'll let him go. So we probably need another first team centre back. We have got a couple of young ones in there. We've got a few players that might come back from loan, so one first teamer. So at the minute, a goalkeeper and a defender. Right back, Aiden's going to go back to Borussia Dortmund following the end of his loan, which just leaves us with McNamara, who also wants to leave. So one, maybe two right backs. Centre midfield across the three positions. I mean, we're looking all right. I think Hansen Aaron, we've just got on another contract. Alex Robertson's maybe not quite developed the way we wanted to. Stankovic, he's going to move on. We've got Chukwenka and Billy Mitchell. So still, for them three positions, we probably need to bring in at least two midfielders. Right wing, we might well let Ruprecht go. He's not going to get a work permit. Maku and Thompson aren't good enough. Ola Kigbe's our first choice there, so maybe a backup if Ruprecht does go. Left wing, I think it's definitely a place we need to strengthen. Zeffy's going to sign a full-time contract with us following his loan spell from Newcastle, but he's might be playing the centre-forward position, which we'll get onto in a minute, so we'll probably need a left winger. Asafa Houghton's coming back off loan, but he's more of a centre midfielder with his stats. He's not really got the crossing attributes that we want for him to play out there, so a left winger to go with it as well. And then up front, I mean, Gannam's the only one on that list because Malik Williams, Zeffy and Namwaset were all in on loan, and he's not going to be our first choice striker moving into next season. So again, it'll either be Zeffy playing up front, or if we can get Malik Williams for another season-long loan. So what I make from that list is one goalkeeper, at least one centre-half, one first-team right-back, two centre-mids, maybe a left winger and a striker. So quite the shopping list to do. We have got Zeffy signing already, which is pretty good. Squad size, when they disappear, is going to actually look quite small. So lots of work to do. I'll get to it. I'll come back as we're approaching the first game of the season and update you on what we've managed to do. Funding wise, not looking too clever. We've got 1.4 million and 1.2k in the wage budget to go, so we're definitely going to have to get players out the door. Denori is one that I'm still working on because he's on £40,000 a week, which is at least two players for us. So a little bit of fettling. Stay tuned. I'll be back and I'll do my best. Welcome back for the first mini update of the episode in the transfer window. First thing to bring you up to speed is Ruprecht has been given a work permit, so he will be able to stay and play that kind of reserve role on the right hand side of midfield. The other bit of news in terms of transfers in is we have made a few new signings. If I just take you to the transfers, we managed to get in, obviously we've got Kevin Zeffy's coming in on a permanent move. We managed to sign Kane Gordon, who can play on either wing. We've got him on a free transfer. He's been released from West Ham and brings us a lot of backup on the right, first team on the left type position. We then brought Amaro Nallo, centre half, got him in from Liverpool, again on a free transfer, snapping up some of the players whose contracts have gone out. He looks a really good signing actually, passing and tackling good, positioning good, quite tall, 187 centimetres, only 22, ball playing defender, so I think he's got a lot of promise in establishing himself as a centre half in the first team. We then brought in Alfie Devine from Tottenham, again another free transfer, naturally fit, More of an attacking midfield role than in the traditional midfield. Again, free transfer, already valued 11 to 13 million, so another potential profit on the cards there. And then finally, Will Alves, again another attacking midfield centre. Got him in on a free transfer from Leicester. Again, he's got a bit more of a flair player, not quite as developed in some of his finer stats, but he can play in a couple positions around the park. That's it in terms of the transfers in the short term. We are looking at a few other transfers which are on the cards. As you can see, Zeffy's already on his way in. We did go for another couple transfers along the way. We're trying to get Casper Denor out. There's some teams snuffing around Chuck Wenker, which is a bit difficult because he's got a minimum free release clause of 13 million. I've turned them down so far at 12.5, but I think he will eventually go. But the big news of the episode really is Burnley have offered us a 2-year contract, essentially on triple what our wages are at Millwall, giving us a transfer budget of 19.5 million and 1.3 million per week, which is a staggering amount of money. They have just been relegated out of the Premier League. They have a fairly substantial size squad, and it's whether we want to make the move to Burnley, and again that would be at the start of the transfer window, to give us the opportunity to kind of rebuild them, so moving fairly sharpish, or whether we stay at Millwall and try and carry on with what we've got. I mean, it's difficult because our wage budget at Burnley is going to be significantly more. I think you'll have the challenge of a number of players will want to leave because they've just been dropped out of the Premier League. So it is a bit of a rebuild. I think you're going to lose some players. You might get to keep 1 or 2 players, but financially and club size, they're in a better position than Millwall for making that trip up. On the flip side of that coin is we've only done a year and a half at Millwall. We've turned the squad around significantly in the first transfer window. We've already made 4 signings which look to strengthen us for the second transfer window. Outside of a top-class goalkeeper and a top-class striker, I think the Millwall squad's there or thereabouts. Can it compete with Millwall? Not entirely sure. Should we stay? Should we go? Again, I'm going to leave it into the comment section. In the absence of any comments, it'll just go down to highest wages and we'll just make the move. If there's any kind of movement for staying at Millwall, we'll stay at Millwall. But if everybody recognises that the move to Burnley is probably the bigger opportunity in terms of establishing ourselves in the Championship and getting that promotion to the Premier League, then we'll make the move to Burnley. So I'm going to delay the contract talks for 2 weeks to allow the end of season contracts to expire 1st of July. I'd ideally like to get to, so I can see what the Millwall squad looks like and also what the Burnley squad looks like, and then we can make the decision. So I'll click on a little bit, but ultimately it's down to you guys as what you want, Burnley or Millwall. Please put it in the comment section, and within the next couple of days we'll make a decision and we'll move. So a very short episode, not quite the transfer bonanza that we were looking for. That'll have to follow once we decide which club we're staying at. But once again, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, and following the results. I'll see you very, very shortly for the next episode. Take care.